Inflation is taking no holiday. This July 4th, gas prices are down from the recent all-time record of $5.01 a gallon, but today's national average of $4.80 is the highest in July 4th history. Tough for a road trip. And the average cost of that barbecue is up 17% from a year ago at just under $70. Gene Marks is a CPA, a small business expert, and president of the Marks Group. Gene, welcome.
Thanks, Mike.
So the White House a year ago that the cost of the barbecue was down 16 cents from the previous year. Now it's up 17%. What's the impact you're hearing from clients in terms of they're getting hit at the gas station, the grocery store, and beyond?
Yeah, it's a great question. My firm has about 600 clients, mostly small and mid-sized businesses, all up and down the Mid-Atlantic area and across the country. And they're all suffering from inflation right now. And as we are heading into the second half of the year, I'm seeing in the books and records that I'm looking at, a beginning of a decline in orders and backlog as well. And you talk to many business owners around the country, like my clients, and they're looking at definitely a slowdown in the economy the second half of this year, which is concern to many of them.
Gene, here in Washington, there's great debate about whether we're heading for a recession or whether we're already in one. From the small business perspective, what do you think?
So it's tough to say for 30 million small businesses, if we're in a recession. Some industries already are. I mean, there's a decline in construction spending. We're seeing a buildup in home inventory as well. People in the construction and the real estate industry right now are seeing a significant slowdown. They're already there. And then that reverberates, right? So financial services, for example, already a couple of big mortgage companies are laying off people as interest rates are starting to rise. And my manufacturing clients are also reporting a decline in their overall orders. So, depending on the industry that you're in, some of them are already seeing that decline, but many of my other clients are looking towards the decline, in the weeks to come. So it's going to be some challenges ahead of us.
A U.S. Chamber of Commerce survey reveals 88% of small business owners are concerned about inflation, are calling it deeply troubling right now. How do you assess that number?
It's not just the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The National Federation of Independent Businesses comes out with their for 50 years, their monthly small business sentiment index. And right now, it is tracking in at very, very low levels. They reached a high during the Trump administration, and they've been declining ever since. Like the economy is so much about sentiment, and it's about psychology. And right now, there's just a general negative business sentiment that's going on around the country. And unfortunately, the administration is not helping. So a lot of businesses, they're cutting back on buying. They're cutting back on investing. Some of them are being forced to cut back on hiring as well. When small businesses do that, I mean, they make up half of the GDP of this country. It's not a good sign for the rest of the economy.
The Chamber of Commerce has another stat showing concerns from small businesses about inflation versus COVID. It shows that concerns about inflation are increasing. Concerns about COVID protocols are decreasing. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Finally, yes, it has been a struggle for many businesses dealing with a lot of COVID mandates. I live in Philadelphia, and the COVID mandates a couple of months ago were just crushing our local small businesses, particularly restaurants and retailers. But yeah, I can confirm that. I think that the COVID hysterics that we saw, a lot of governments, and a lot of people are kind of going behind. I think small businesses are benefiting from that. On the other side, I mean, inflation is hitting everybody. So I'm seeing across the board small businesses raise their prices, and more than a few, Mike, are practicing shrinkflation. They're giving a little bit less of a product for the same price as well, just to maintain their margins. I'm seeing a lot of that going on around the country.
Gene, we're nearly out of time, but any advice for small businesses, small business owners who may be watching right now?
Yeah, I do have some advice. You have two ways to navigate your way through inflation, okay? You either increase your revenues or you cut your costs, because that's what my smartest clients are doing. So if you have to increase your prices, focus on those customers that you can increase prices. If you have to cut your costs, invest in technology. Mike, I am seeing so many small businesses are doubling down on technology, which has become a lot less expensive, to reduce their overhead and eliminate those employees that they can't find anywhere. So again, you got to find a way for increasing your revenues or decreasing your costs. I'm an accountant, and really it's as simple as that. And if you practice that, you can navigate your way through these high cost times.
Gene Marks, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck to you and your clients.
You too. Thanks, Mike.